As you were wonderfully entertained by Olivia's choreographed video, you couldn't help to notice another female member of our Confirmand group. You saw her both standing at attention and sound asleep. As you watched, you noticed, I'm sure, that she's an old gal. She's been around the block a few times, so to say. She has had many varied and colorful employment careers in her 30-year-plus lifetime. These have ranged from her first job, exhibiting fine clothing in the window of a cool dress shop, to an Hawaiian hula dancer, Orchard Park varsity tennis player and cheerleader, Winter Olympic ski racer for a physical education winter unit, a Brazilian samba dancer even, and now onto her greatest and most life-altering assignment, that of an honorary member of our Confirmand class. What is her name, you ask? It's Destiny. Remember her name. As it's now Jesse's turn to lead our homily. Jesse will richly describe not only our old gal Destiny's journey, but most importantly, the exciting journey of our 6 true Confirmands and what's in store for all of us as Christians.
Good morning. My name's Jessie Breath, and most people here know me. I basically live at the church. As Mrs. Trampert introduced, I have the story of Destiny to share with you from our Christmas confirmation retreat, also known as 26 Hours at the Church. Destiny is a dear friend of ours. She is a mannequin, but she represents so much more for our group. Within the first hour of being at the church, we were tasked with clothing Destiny. Destiny arrived looking a little immodest for a church. We were given different fabrics, stickers, yarns, anything we could have needed to clothe Destiny. Our design came together relatively quickly. We gave Destiny a nice shirt and skirt, which is just above her knees to allow her to move around. Destiny is always on the go. Her sneakers and the wing stickers on her ankles help her to run quickly. She has a long cape to help her fly quickly as well. We chose not to cover the scars on her shoulders, so she could proudly show them off as a reminder of all the battles she has endured. The stars on her skirt represent each of the people she has saved. Her shield holds her prophecy, everything she has done and everything she is destined to do. Destiny was meant to be an icebreaker for us, and she definitely did her job. She brought us closer together in such a short period of time. We picked the verses from Ephesians because it talks about destiny. God has destined us to be his children, but he gave us free will as well. God doesn't choose what our lives will be, besides the fact that we are his children, and he is happy with us. As children of God, we will go through life by trial and error. We make mistakes, but in the end, God forgives us, and we learn from them. Destiny was clothed in strength, and she stood there for the entirety of the retreat to remind us to be strong young women through Christ. And that brings me to my second story. I like to call it the great escape attempt of Christmas confirmation. Notice I said attempt. The 6 of us formed a plan pretty early on in the day that we were going to sneak out of the Irene Irving room at night. We should have known better. So around 12, we finally get to bed, and Zoe provided us with gum to stay awake. We waited until around 1:15 until we were positive all the adults were asleep, and one at a time, in 30-second intervals, we very slowly tiptoed out of the room. Once out in the hall, we walked along the wall to avoid the floor creaking. We had even taken the time out to map out where the floor would creak. Once we got there in the education wing, we were in the clear. We all got there, we silently congratulated ourselves and did a little happy dance, and then Tara noticed a security camera. We didn't think much of it because who would be watching the security cameras at 1:15 in the morning? We went down through the basement up into the sanctuary. By then, the euphoria of sneaking out had worn off, and as we walked into the sanctuary, it felt calm. The Christmas tree was up, and the light from the tree softly glowed across the room. I remember we walked over to the window and just watched the street. The street lamps were on, and barely anyone was driving. It was quiet and peaceful. And in this space, late at night, I truly felt God's presence with us. From here, we went into the kitchen, of course. Just as we were coming out of the kitchen, holding our prizes of cookies and bananas, everyone stopped in front of the door. I couldn't see anything over the barricade of girls blocking the door, but I heard someone whisper one word, B. And in that moment, my stomach dropped to the floor. I'm convinced part of it's still there in the doorway. Props to B, though, for handling that so well. We didn't get yelled at, but B warned us that if there was an emergency and we were nowhere to be found, that could be an issue, which makes total sense. But B went back to the room and allowed us to sit in the reception room for a while and chat and finish our snacks. So upon reflecting on our escape attempt, we have no idea how we got caught. We concluded either B was awake and heard us, or her phone was connected to the security camera somehow when she saw us leave. B will not disclose which of them it was. Probably doesn't want to encourage another late night endeavor. I promise there was an actual point to the story. I'm getting there. And the point of that was the few minutes we spent in the sanctuary. Walking in this huge empty room with the soft glow from the Christmas tree and the dead silence of night, it was serene. I fully realized in that moment why we were there. I realized that each of us came from different walks of life, different paths, but we were all there together. I learned that there was a reason for us being brought together. While we all have different personalities and different stories, we all get along like sisters. The six of us love to laugh together, explore together, and learn together. We all, in that silent moment in the sanctuary, shared a mutual sense of calm. That was a breathtaking moment. No last name puns intended, by the way. These friendships we have formed is part of our destiny. We are all strong young women of God, and we are going through life together. We all serve together the MLK Day of Service, and we worship together in service on Sundays. I love all of these girls so much. I've learned a lot about all of them, and that was surely part of our destiny. We all made the decision to be confirmed into this church. By making this decision, we came together to add to our intricate story of life and be the children of God that He destined us to be. Your destiny is up to you. Your destiny is the choices you make in life and the person you choose to be. So what is your destiny? Is it to be an encourager? Is it to protect and serve others? Is your destiny to serve God in any possible way? God gave us free will. He gave us the ability to choose what our lives will look like. Unlike Destiny the mannequin, our futures aren't mapped out simply on a shield for us. Our destiny is what we make of it. I don't know what my future will hold. Nobody knows that. But I know that part of my destiny was meeting these beautiful girls and coming together as sisters to serve God. Thank you.